Welcome students. So we will start with NCERT Exemplar of chapter 16, which is excretory products and their elimination. This is disclaimer. So this will be our learning objective. We will explore and understand the fundamental concepts by working through the NCERT Exemplar. Now this will be our index for today. So first 15 questions will be MCQ based. Then next 15 questions will be very short answer type. The next 9 questions will be of short answer type, and next 1 to 6 questions, next 6 questions will be of long answer type. So total we have 45 questions in this session, but we will try to cover as much questions as possible. So this is question number 1, and the question is the following substances are the excretory products in animals. We have to choose the least toxic form from the options, and this will cover NCERT section 16.1. Okay, and these are the options given, that is urea, uric acid, ammonia and carbon dioxide. Let's see the answer. So here uric acid is the least toxic among the given options. Let's see the reasons. Talking about its properties, it is highly insoluble. This means it doesn't dissolve easily in water, which is a significant advantage for animals that need to conserve water. Now another important point is uric acid requires minimal water for excretion. This is particularly beneficial for animals living in arid environments where water is scarce. So it allows them to conserve water and eliminate waste. So uric acid can be excreted as semi-solid paste. This is a unique feature because it means less water is needed to flush it out of the body. So you can see how adaptations changes with environment. Uric acid can be stored safely in the body because this is less toxic. Okay, this is important because it means animals can accumulate it without immediate harm, unlike more toxic substances that need to be eliminated quickly to avoid damage, just like ammonia. Let's compare the toxicity levels of different excretory products. From most to least, we have ammonia, urea, carbon dioxide and finally our uric acid. This hierarchy helps us understand why uric acid is preferred choice for many animals. Notice the order of toxicity. Here we can see that ammonia is the most toxic, followed by urea, carbon dioxide and uric acids. So this sequence is important for understanding why certain organisms have evolved to secrete uric acid instead of more toxic substances. So you can see this diagram and you can see how according to environment different organisms are adapted different mechanism of excretion. Now this is question number 2 and the question is filtration of the blood takes place at, so we have given 4 options, that is PCT, DCT, collecting ducts and Malpighian tubules, or you can say Malpighian body. So this question will cover NCERT section 16.2. Let's see the answer. So when we know that filtration of blood takes place at the Malpighian body. This is crucial part of the kidney structure and responsible for the initial step in urine formation. Okay, so you have to see that the correct option here is Malpighian body. So filtration of the blood takes place at the Malpighian body. So it consists of mainly 2 components, that is glomerulus and Bowman's capsule. So think of glomerulus as a network of tiny blood vessels and Bowman's capsule as a cup-like structure that catches the filtered fluid. Now filtration occurs in the glomerulus through a process called as glomerular filtration. This is where blood is filtered under pressure along water and small molecules to pass into Bowman's capsule. So it's like a sieve separating useful for it separates useful substances from the waste. Now here the question asks us where the filtration of blood takes place. Okay, so you can see this picture, it connects the concept that we have already discussed. You can see the details here, the detailed structure of Malpighian body and how it fits into the larger system. Okay, so you can see the picture of renal corpuscle, or we can say Malpighian body. Now this is question number 3, and the question is, which of the following statement is incorrect? We have to opt the incorrect one, and here the options are: ADH prevents conversion of angiotensin in blood to angiotensin. Okay, sorry. The question is first option is ADH prevent conversion of angiotensinogen, not angiotensin. It was tensinogen. It is an inactive form in blood to angiotensin. Now our option B is aldosterone facilitates water reabsorption. Option G is ANF enhances sodium reabsorption, and option D is renin causes vasodilation. Let's see the answer. So here our correct answer is ADH, okay, or you can say vasopressin, which is secreted by posterior pituitary. So ADH, or we can say antidiuretic hormone, is secreted by posterior pituitary gland. So this talking about its function, this plays a crucial role in maintaining water balance in our bodies. So remember, the posterior pituitary is responsible for storing and releasing hormones produced by the hypothalamus. Now moving on to next point, ADH facilitates water reabsorption in the later parts of the kidney tubules, and this process is essential for preventing diuresis, which is excessive production of urine. So you can think of ADH as a water saving hormone that keeps our body conserve water when needed. Now let's talk about how ADH regulates water excretion. It increases the permeability of the collecting ducts in the kidneys, allowing more water and salt to be reabsorbed. So this action is driven by the osmotic gradient, which is the difference in solute concentration across the membrane. You can notice how ADH fine-tunes the body's water balance by responding to the changes in this gradient. So you can see this picture of regulation of kidney function by RAS system. Here you can see by the action of renin, angiotensinogen first convert to angiotensin 1, then angiotensin 2. Okay, so here renin is our it is catalyzing the reaction. Okay, it is catalyzing this conversion. It is an enzyme. Okay, talking about the effects of angiotensin 2, it causes arteries to constrict, which results in an increase in the blood pressure. Okay, it decreases glomerular filtration rate, resulting in water retention. It also increases thrust. Now angiotensin 2 also promotes the secretion of ADH, which is antidiuretic hormone. It mediates reinsertion of aquaporins into nephron collecting duct cells. Okay, as a result, more water is reabsorbed into the blood, and it causes arteries to constrict. Talking about aldosterone, angiotensin 2 also secretes or leads to release of aldosterone. What it does, it causes nephron distal tubule to reabsorb more Na, which is sodium, and water, which increases blood volume. So you can see the whole renin angiotensin system here. Now this is question number 4, and the question number 4 is, a large quantity of which of the one following is removed from our body by lungs? Options are CO2 only, H2O only, CO2 and H2O, and ammonia. This particular question will cover NCERT section 16.47. Let's see the answer. Here the correct option is A, that is CO2 and H2O. So our lungs play a crucial role in removing water from our body, and they primarily remove two substances. This is an essential, this is an important function for of our respiratory system. So you can see how CO2 is one of the main substances removed by the lungs. It's produced during cellular respiration, which is the process our cells use to generate energy. The second substance is water vapor, or you can say H2O, which is expelled as a part of the air which when we breathe out. So this happens naturally as we exhale, and it's a way our body maintains balance. So this process of removing CO2 and water vapor occurs during exhalation. It's a continuous cycle that keeps our body's internal environment stable. So let's emphasize the importance of this process in maintaining homeostasis. The CO2 is removed as a waste product of metabolism. Metabolism is like the body's engine, and CO2 is one of the byproducts. So removing it is very crucial for preventing toxic buildup in our system. The water vapor is released as a result of humid air. Okay, this is why our breath feel warm and moist. It's a simple yet effective way of how our bodies regulates moisture and temperature. So you can see the visual representation of CO2 extraction from the lungs. Here you can see the pathway of CO2 as it exits out of the body. Okay, so this figure is showing the excretion of CO2 from the lungs. Now this is question number 5, and the question is the pH of human urine is approximately, that is options are 6.5, 7, 6 and 7.5. And this question will cover NCERT section 16.2. Let's see the answer. So here our answer is A, which is 6.5. Typically, the pH of human urine ranges from 4.5 to 8. This range is important because it reflects the body's ability to maintain a balanced internal environment. Now, the average or normal pH of urine is approximately 6.5. This is a key point to remember, as it represents the typical state of urine under normal conditions. Now, let's consider why urine is slightly acidic. This acidity plays a crucial role in our body's health. So, you can notice how this characteristic helps in several ways. One important function of this slightly acidic nature of urine is preventing bacterial growth. This is a natural defense mechanism that helps protect our urinary tract from infections. So it prevents UTI. Okay. Now, additionally, maintaining a slightly acidic pH is essential for proper kidney function. The kidneys here rely on this balance to efficiently filter and excrete waste products from the body. Another benefit of this acidity is that it facilitates the excretion of waste products, and this process is vital for removing toxins and maintaining overall health. Finally, it's important to note that the factors like diet, medications, and health conditions can also affect urine pH. This variability highlights the dynamic nature of our body's excretory system. So, I have to keep these factors in mind. Now, this is question number 4 and the question number 6, and the question is different types of excretory structures and animals are given below. So we have to match them appropriately and mark the correct answer from the among given options below. So we have given different excretory structure that are protonephridia, nephridia, Malpighian tubule, and green gland, or we can say antennal gland. And in the animal section, we have given prawn, cockroach, earthworm, flatworms. We have to match them correctly, and according to that, we have to opt the correct option. Let's see the answer. So here answer is A will match with 4, B will match with 3, C will match with 2, and D will match with 1. Let's see. Let's discuss the detail one by one. Let's start with flatworms. So they have a simple excretory system known as protonephridia. You can think of protonephridia as a network of tubes that help in filtering waste from the body. So this is a primitive yet effective system for these simple organisms. Next we have earthworms, which we here they use nephridia for excretion. Nephridia are more advanced than protonephridia. Of course, protom is primitive. Okay, so it is more advanced than protonephridia and function similarly to kidneys in humans. So they help in filtering and expelling waste, maintaining worms' internal environment. Okay. So you have to you have to remember that earthworm uses nephridia for their excretion, and it is advanced than protonephridia. Moving on to cockroaches, they possess Malpighian tubules. These structures are crucial for conserving water while excreting waste, which is important for survival in dry environments. So it's a great example of how insects have adapted to terrestrial life. Finally, let's look at prawns. They have a unique green glands, also known as antennal glands, which are specialized for excretion. These glands are located near the base of their antennae and play an important role in osmoregulation, helping prawns maintain their internal balance in aquatic environments. So you can see the picture showing Malpighian tubule in insects and protonephridia, or can say flame cells in Platyhelminthes. Now let's move on to question number 7, which is which of the following statement is incorrect. We have to opt the incorrect one. Here options are birds, ants, land snails are eurycotelic animal. Option B is mammals and frogs are ureotelic animals. Option C is aquatic amphibians and aquatic insects are amonotelic animals, and option D is birds and reptiles are ureotelic. So let's see the answer. Now we know that birds and reptiles are actually uricotelic, not ureotelic. This means that they excrete uric acid instead of urea. So it's important to remember this distinction because it highlights how different organisms have adapted their excretory processes to their environments. Now you can notice how birds and reptiles excrete nitrogenous waste in the form of uric acid. This is a key point because uric acid is less toxic and conserves water, which is crucial for survival in arid environments. So this adaptation allows them to thrive in habitats where water is scarce. So here our correct option is option D, that is birds and reptiles are ureotelic. Okay, it's uricotelic, not ureotelic. Finally, let's emphasize that birds and reptiles excrete waste as a pellet, or we can say as paste, minimizing water loss. This efficient method of excretion is a great example of evolutionary adaptations, allowing these animals to maintain hydration and survive in dry conditions. You have to remember the form of excretion is closely linked to an organism's habitat as well as their life cycle. And we have question number 8, which is asking which of the following pairs is wrong. So we have given 4 pairs, that is option A is uricotelic is matched with the birds, then B is ureotelic is matched with insects, then we have amonotelic which is matched with tadpole, and we have ureotelic which is matched with elephant. Let's see the correct answer. So we know that insects excrete nitrogenous waste as a uric acid, which makes them uricotelic. This means that they conserve water by excreting waste in solid form. So it's an adaptation that helps them survive in dry environment. So our option B is wrong, which is ureotelic when matched with insects. Okay, so we have already talked about it that insects excrete nitrogenous waste as uric acid, not urea. Okay, which makes them uricotelic, not ureotelic. Next we see that ureotelic animals include mammals, adult amphibians, and elasmobranchs. Okay, these animals excrete urea, which is less toxic and requires less water to excrete compared to ammonia. This is an important aspect for animals that live in environment where water conservation is necessary. Continuing, we learn that birds are also uricotelic similar to insects. They excrete uric acid to conserve water. Tadpoles, on the other hand, excrete ammonia, which is typical for aquatic organisms. So this highlights the diversity in excretory strategies among different species. Finally, we can note that elephants, being mammals, are ureotelic. This means they excrete urea, which is consistent with their need to manage nitrogenous waste efficiently. So this wraps up our exploration of excretory products and their elimination across different animal groups. Now this is question number 9, and the question is which of the following statement is incorrect, and we have 4 options here. Let's see the correct answer. So here the correct answer is option number B, that is inside the kidney the cortical region extends in between the medullary pyramids as renal pelvis. Let's discuss the answer. So you can see how this statement mentions the cortical region extending between the medullary pyramids. This is a common point of confusion. So in reality, these extensions are known as renal columns, not the renal pelvis. So you have to remember this distinction while studying. So the term column of Bertani is used to describe these extensions of the cortical region. This is a key anatomical feature of the kidney, and understanding the correct terminology helps in visualizing the kidney's internal structure. Now the rest of the statements provided in the question are accurate. This highlights the importance of carefully reading each option in MCQs. So you have to keep this in your mind. Now you can see the longitudinal section of kidney. You can see the structure of medullary pyramid, the structure of renal column. Okay, and in our question, in our option, it was written renal pelvis, but the correct one is renal column. Okay, you can see the cortex region, you can see the calyx region, you can see renal corpuscle, you can see ureter, the way to ureter, renal pelvis, renal vein, renal artery. Okay, so you can see the longitudinal section of kidney. Now this is question number 10 of MCQ, and the question is, the condition of accumulation of urea in the blood is termed as. Okay, so they are talking about certain medical condition related to excretion. Let's see the correct answer. So the condition, the accumulation of urea in the blood is termed as uremia. Okay, uremia. What is uremia? It is a condition where urea, a waste product formed from the breakdown of proteins, accumulate in the blood. This happens when the kidneys are unable to filter waste effectively. So it's crucial to recognize this condition, as it can lead to serious health issues if not addressed. Now, uremia occurs due to malfunctioning of the kidneys. When the kidneys fail to perform their filtering role, waste products like urea build up in our bloodstream. So this highlights the importance of kidney health and regular checkups to ensure they are functioning well. Now let's differentiate uremia from other conditions. Now renal calculi, or you can say kidney stones, they are commonly called as kidney stones, involve the formation of stones from the crystallized salts within the kidney. So this is a different issue from uremia, but it's another example of how kidney function can be disrupted. Now talking about glomerulonephritis, it is another condition affecting the kidneys, which is characterized by inflammation of glomeruli, which are tiny filters in the kidneys. This kind of inflammation can impair kidney function, but it's also distinct from uremia, which specifically involves urea accumulation. So you have to keep in mind. Talking about ketonuria is a condition where ketone bodies, because here ketone is written, so you can memorize in this way. It will be related to something ketone. Okay, so it is a condition where ketone bodies are present in the urine. This is different from uremia, as it involves the presence of different substances in the urine rather than the blood. So you can say that ketonuria can indicate metabolic issues such as those seen in diabetes. It is also observed, ketonuria is also observed during periods of starvation, or you can say in individual with type 1 diabetes mellitus. So this condition reflects how the body is breaking down fat for energy when glucose is not available, leading to production of ketones. Now this is the condition. You can see the red part, which is showing the inflammation of glomeruli and of the small blood vessels. The first one is normal kidney, and the second one is the condition of uremia. And this inflammation is caused by the accumulation of urea in the blood. Now this is question number 11, and the question is, which of the following is known as antidiuretic hormone? So we have given 4 options. Options are oxytocin, vasopressin, adrenaline, calcitonin. Okay, and this question will cover NCERT section 16.5. So the answer is option B, that is vasopressin. Talking in details, vasopressin is another name for antidiuretic hormone, or ADH. So this hormone plays a crucial role in maintaining our body's water balance by controlling the amount of water reabsorbed by the kidneys. Now let's explore where vasopressin comes from. It is secreted from the neurohypophysis, which is part of pituitary gland. The pituitary gland is often called as master gland because it regulates various bodily functions, including water balance, through the secretion of ADH. Next, let's see how it functions. It facilitates water absorption in the later parts of the kidney tubules. So this process is essential because it prevents diuresis, which is the excessive production of urine. So by reabsorbing water, vasopressin helps maintain the body's fluid balance and prevents dehydration. So you can see ADH control. You can see how you can see osmoregulator. If you talk about osmoregulators, it detect increased osmotic pressure. So you can see their position, how where they are located. You can see the location of baroreceptors, which are usually aortic arc, or you can say carotid sinus. It detect decreased blood pressure. Okay. ADH also promotes or also uh, has an important role in blood vessels and in kidney. For blood vessel, it leads to vasoconstriction, and for kidney, it increases reabsorption of water. And conjointly, they both increase blood volume as well as blood pressure. So you can keep this in your mind, this the picture of ADH control, or we can say hypothalamus. Okay, and here ADH is antidiuretic hormone. So this is question number 12, and the question is we have to match column 1 and column 2, and then we have given 4 options. So let's see the answer, and this will cover NCERT section 16.4. So here our correct option is option A, when A will match with third, B will match with 4, C will match with 1, D will match with 5, and E will match with second. Let's see how. Let's talk about proximal convoluted tubule, or we can say PCT. This part of the nephron is crucial because it reabsorbs 70 to 80% of water electrolytes from the filtrates. So you can think of it as a recycling center where essential ions and nutrients are reclaimed to maintain our body's balance. Next, we have this DCT, or we can say distal convoluted tubule. This section is involved in the secretion of hydrogen, potassium ions and ammonia. So it's like fine-tuning mechanism, ensuring that excess ions are removed to maintain body's pH and electrolyte balance. So DCT, or you can say distal convoluted tubule, also plays an important role in maintaining ionic balance. It helps regulate the pH and sodium potassium levels in the blood, ensuring that our body's internal environment remains stable. So this balance is vital for proper cellular function. So let's talk about Henle's loop. You can notice how the descending limb of Henle's loop is permeable to water. This permeability is crucial because it allows water to reabsorb into the bloodstream, concentrating the urine as it moves through the nephron. Now let's emphasize that the descending limb is almost impermeable to electrolytes. This is very important. This means that while water can pass through, electrolytes like sodium and chloride cannot. So this selective permeability is a key to concentrating the urine. As the urine moves down the descending limb, it becomes more concentrated, and this is because water is reabsorbed, leaving behind a higher concentration of solutes. And this process is essential for kidneys' ability to conserve water and produce concentrated urine. So we can look at this renal corpuscle, which includes glomerulus and Bowman's capsule. This part of nephron is responsible for the filtration of blood, a crucial step, or you can say it is the first step in urine formation. It filters out waste products while retaining essential molecules and cells in the bloodstream. So this is question number 13, and this is also match the following, and we have to match column 1 correctly with match 2 with column 2, and we have given 4 options, so you have to opt the correct one, and this will covers NCERT section 16.8. So here our option C is correct, which is A will match with 4, B will match with 3, C will match with 2, and D will match with 1. Let's see the answer. So let's talk about glucosuria. This condition is characterized by the presence of glucose in the urine. It's important because it indicates issues like diabetes, where the body is unable to properly manage glucose levels. Now you can notice how this matches with column option 4 in column 2. You can see that it is the condition which is characterized by the presence of glucose in the urine. Okay, a case of diabetes. Okay, so here our option A will match with option 4 in column 2. Next we have renal calculi, which is also refers to as the formation of crystallized salts in the kidney, which is commonly known as kidney stones. So this will match with option number C. So let's examine glomerular nephritis. This condition involves inflammation of glomeruli, which are tiny filters in the kidneys. These inflammation can affect kidney function and is matched with option number C. We can see in column 2 that option number, it is matched with option number 2. So understanding this will help us appreciate how inflammation can impact the body's ability to filter our waste effectively. Finally, we have got, which is the accumulation of uric acid crystals at the joints, leading to inflammation and pain. This condition is matched with option number 1 in column 2. So it is a great example of how body's inability to eliminate certain products can lead to significant health issues. With this, we have completed our matching exercise. So we have to remember these, we can say, these excretory disorders. Now this is question number 14, and the question is, we can produce a concentrated or dilute urine. This is facilitated by a special mechanism. So we have to identify the mechanism, and we have given 4 options. So this particular question will cover NCERT section 16.3 and 16.4. Let's start by understanding the counter current mechanism. So this is a special process that occurs in the kidney, especially in Henle's loop and vasa recta. It's essential for creating a concentration gradient in the medullary interstitium, which is a key area in the kidney. So here our correct option will be option D, that is correct counter current mechanism in Henle's loop, or we can say vasa recta. So you can notice how the counter current mechanism creates a concentration gradient, and this gradient is vital because it helps facilitate the movement of water from the collecting tubule, allowing the kidneys to adjust the concentration of urine. So the movement of water is facilitated by this gradient is crucial for concentrating urine. So this process ensures that our bodies can conserve water when needed, which is especially important in situations where water intake is limited. By concentrating urine, the counter current mechanism plays a significant role in maintaining our body's water balance. This ability to concentrate urine is a remarkable adaptation that helps us survive in various environments. So let's shift our focus to PCT, or we can say proximal convoluted tubule. This part of the nephron is responsible for secreting substances like hydrogen ions, ammonia, and potassium. So it's an important step in excretory process. Now PCT also reabsorbs a significant portion of electrolytes and water, which is about 70 to 80%. This reabsorption is crucial for maintaining body's electrolyte balance and ensuring that we don't lose too much water. Now in addition to reabsorbing electrolytes and water, the PCT helps maintain the pH and ionic balance in our bodies. So this balance is crucial for a proper cellular function, and we can say our overall health. So let's discuss about collecting duct. This part of the nephron plays a vital role in concentrating urine. So notice how it reabsorbs water, which is essential for concentrating the urine, and this process helps our body conserve water when needed. In addition to reabsorbing water, the collecting duct also maintains osmolarity. This means that it helps the body to balance the concentration of solutes in the urine, ensuring that our body's internal environment remains stable. Now, the collecting duct also secretes hydrogen ions or H plus and potassium ions, which is K plus, and this secretion is important for maintaining the pH balance of our blood, which is crucial for proper cellular functioning. Let's talk about distal convoluted tubule, or we can say DCT. This part of nephron reabsorbs sodium ions, that is Na plus, and water and bicarbonate ions, which is HCO3. And these actions help regulate the body's electrolyte balance and blood pressure. Then the DCT also has an important role. It secretes hydrogen ions. It also secretes hydrogen ions as well as potassium ions, which is similar to collecting duct. So this secretion is another mechanism that helps maintain the pH balance in our body. Now, by reabsorbing and secreting these ions, the DST plays a crucial role in maintaining both pH and ionic balance. This balance is essential for the proper functioning of our cells as well as organs. So remember that both the collecting duct and distal convoluted tubule are integral to kidney's ability to produce urine, that is either concentrated or dilute. And this ability is very important for our body's overall homeostasis. This is question number 15 of MCQ, and the question is, dialysing unit, that is artificial kidney, contains a fluid which is almost same as plasma except it has. We have given 4 options. So we have option 1, option 2, option 3 and option 4. Let's see the correct answer. So the correct answer here is no urea. So here this first point introduces the dialysing fluid in an artificial kidney. You can here you can notice how it mentions the fluid's composition is similar to normal blood plasma. This similarity is very important because it allows the fluid to interact effectively with the patient's blood during dialysis. So let's dive into the key differences between dialysing fluid and normal blood plasma. These differences are important because they let us or enable the dialysis process to remove waste product from the body efficiently. Now the key difference here is that dialysing fluid contains no urea. This absence is significant because it allows urea from the patient's blood to diffuse into the dialysing fluid, facilitating its removal from the body. Now another important difference is that dialysing fluid contains no creatine. That means, like urea, creatine is a waste product that needs to be removed from the blood. So the final, or we can say key difference, is that the dialysing fluid contains no excess salts. This ensures that only the necessary components remain in the blood while the excess salts are removed, maintaining the body's electrolyte balance. Let's focus on the absence of urea in the dialysing fluid. This is a critical aspect because it enhances the efficiency of urea removal from the patient's blood through diffusion. The process relies on the concentration gradient between the blood and dialysing fluid. So we have a visual representation of an artificial kidney. So you can notice the components and how the important components involved here and how they conjointly work together to facilitate the process of dialysis. So this is question number 1 of very short answer type, and the question is, where does the selective reabsorption of glomerular filtrate takes place? So this question will cover NCERT section 16.3. Let's see the answer. So the selective reabsorption of glomerular filtrate occurs at specific parts of the nephron, and this is important because it ensures that essential nutrients and water are reabsorbed back into the bloodstream. The primary sites for this selective reabsorption are PCT, which is proximal convoluted tubule, and DCT, which is distal convoluted tubule. These structures play an important role in filtering and reabsorbing substances that the body needs to retain. Now in PCT, a significant portions of essential nutrients, about 70 to 80% of electrolytes and water, are reabsorbed. So you can think of it as the body's way of reclaiming valuable resources that would otherwise be lost. Then talking about DCT, that is the distal convoluted tubule, on the other hand, is involved in the conditional reabsorption of sodium ions and water. This means that the reabsorption here is regulated based on the body's current needs, helping to maintain homeostasis. So you can, from this picture, you can see the whole mechanism of counter current. Now this is question number 2 of very short answer time, and the question is, what is the excretory product from the kidneys of reptile? Okay, and this question will cover CRT section 16.1. Let's see the solution. So we know that reptiles excrete nitrogenous waste primarily as uric acid. This is very important. Okay, so this adaptation is important because uric acid is less toxic and conserves water compared to other nitrogenous wastes like ammonia or urea. Okay, so this kind of adaptation is very important for them. So we can we know that reptile excrete uric acid in the form of pellet, or you can say paste. So this why they excrete pellet, or we can say paste? Because this method minimizes water loss, which is essential for reptiles living in arid environments. And this adaptation also classifies them as uricotelic animals, meaning they are primarily they primarily excrete uric acid. So to summarize, reptiles have evolved to excrete uric acid to conserve water, making them uricotelic, and this adaptation is crucial for the survival in dry habitats. Okay. Now this is question number 3 of very short answer type, and the question is, what is the composition of sweat produced by sweat glands? So this section will cover NCERT section 16.7. Let's see the solution. Talking about general properties of sweat, so it is a primarily a liquid or we can say watery fluid, and we have to note that it do contain several components that play a crucial role in bodily functions. So this is not just a normal water, it do have many components that have specific roles. So we will see each of them one by one. The first component of sweat is sodium chloride, or NaCl. This is essentially salt, which is why sweat tastes salty. So sodium chloride helps regulate the balance of fluids in our body. Next, sweat contains small amounts of urea, or we can say urea is the waste product formed in the liver and is excreted through sweat and urine. So this shows how sweat helps in the elimination of water, or elimination of waste. Another component is lactic acid. Lactic acid is produced in the muscles during intense workout and is excreted through sweat. This helps in maintaining the pH balance of the skin. The primary function, talking about its function, the primary function is to cool down the body. As sweat evaporates from the skin, it takes away heat, helping to regulate body temperature. And this is crucial for maintaining homeostasis. Now, in addition to cooling, sweat also aids in removal of waste substances from the body. And this dual function highlights the importance of sweat in both temperature regulation as well as in waste elimination. So you can see the location of sebaceous gland and sebum and how they regulate excretion. This is question number 4 of very short answer type, and the question is, identify the glands that perform the excretory function in prawns. And this section will cover NCERT, and this question will cover NCERT section 16.1. Let's see the solution. So talking about excretory organ in prawns, these are known as enteric glands, or we can say green glands. Okay. So you have to notice that these glands are specifically adapted for the excretory function in these aquatic creatures. These talking about these glands, they are small, opaque, white and pea-sized structure. They are located in the coxa of each second antenna. This specific location helps them efficiently perform their excretory role. So you can imagine them as tiny waste management centers within prawn's body. Now, the primary waste product excreted by these glands is ammonia. This is important because ammonia is common nitrogenous waste in aquatic animals, and its elimination is vital for the prawn survival. So you can think of ammonia as a byproduct that needs to be efficiently removed to keep the prawn healthy. So to summarize, we have learned that prawns use their antennary glands, or you can say green glands, to excrete ammonia. And these glands are strategically located in the coxa of the second antenna, highlighting the specialized adaptations in prawns for waste material, for waste elimination. Okay.